So the next question, Amanda.
Why did you call my name like that?
Because this is a serious question.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Do you mind showing us the amount of money in your bank account?
Hell no.
I'm
Hell no.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to Women Wielding Wealth. I'm Hailey Edward, the founder of Chube Empowerment Initiative, and here with me is
Amanda.
And this is Financial Freedom on Her Terms. So, in this episode, Amanda and I are basically just going to be having a conversation on what financial freedom means to us, our personal journeys over the years, and what we aim to do in 2026. So, tell us, Amanda, what do you do?
So my name is Amanda. I currently own a fashion business called Ose the Label on Instagram, and we basically make clothes for the young Nigerian woman. You don't have to be Nigerian, but I really center young Nigerian women. And I make Ankara fun again. At the moment, that's what we do. We make Ankara fun again. I also run an NGO, which is called Trust and Destiny Foundation for the Less Privileged. And our current goal is to ensure that we keep indigenous students in class and we ensure that they're able to receive the same education that their other classmates receive, but instead we keep them being in class as our main priority. So yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. So I'm Hailey, and I'm the founder of Chube Empowerment Initiative, which is an NGO that focuses on empowerment, promotion of education, and environmental sustainability. I also own a fashion brand called Legalish, which is a corporate wear brand. It started as a passion for law students, but gradually we're growing to make it a more rounded corporate fashion couture brand. And then I manage a beauty spa called Hailey's Beauty here in Abuja.
That's nice.
So, what are you wearing today?
Okay, guys. So I'm wearing a new dress from my brand. It's called Ose the Label. As I said before, I'll just stand up and do a little twirl for you guys. So this is what it looks like. The back, the front. Yeah, I think it's really cute. Hailey, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing a top from Legalish.
Okay.
Just a little something I'm working on with the beaded flowers here.
Yeah.
And then trousers from H&M, shoes from H&M, and
nice.
Hair from Hailey's Beauty.
Period.
Okay, so what does financial freedom mean to you?
Starting off strong. To be honest, I think financial freedom to me really just means being able to go to like the grocery store and pick things and pay for it without wondering how much it costs. Yeah. So for me, first and foremost, financial freedom is basically being able to afford my daily needs. And then after my daily needs, my like wants come next. Yeah. I really love fashion. So financial freedom also involves me being able to see a dress that I like and getting it. Like not having to think twice, not having to, plan around it. Yeah. Obviously, there are some purchases that I would need to be able to plan around, but on a day-to-day, just being able to say, I want this and I have it. Do you understand? So that's what financial freedom is to me. What about you?
I think it centers around what you said as well. Just basically to get what you want when you want, not having to wait for a particular time for, this money to come out and then you'd be able to get what you want, or to have to ask someone to get your basic needs. Just being able to, I want this and I'm going to get it, basically.
That asking someone part is so real, because when you have to ask someone for something that you need, you're basically like hoping and praying that they say yes. Yeah. But for something you need, it's like, Yeah.
This year, we're trying to change that.
Period.
Yeah. Okay. As a female founder, what do you find yourself spending on monthly? Like, what are your monthly expenses?
So I'll be very, very honest, guys. I'm a baby female founder. Yeah. Like, baby as in I'm still in the very early stages. So I can't give you the most well-rounded answer, but I think it's really good that we have two different perspectives, because you've been like in business for a much longer time than I have. So I feel like when you answer, you'll be able to give a more well-rounded perspective. But for me, seeing as this is something I've recently started, what I found that I spend the most money on is like logistics.
Yeah.
Like the actual maybe transporting myself from here to there to do this thing, or actually, transporting the clothes that I make from between the tailor and myself, because we don't stay in the same place and I don't have like a proper shop currently.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's logistics. And then after logistics, a close second is like the actual, like, let's say, operations, like in the sense of, no, I'm not going to call it operations, like artisans, like paying the people that actually do the work for me and trying to pay them in as much as I'm a small brand, or rather, especially because I'm a small brand, trying to pay them a very fair wage to ensure that they do the work well.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you're a smaller brand and you're just starting off, people are more critical of what you do.
Yeah.
So you're not releasing as much, but each thing that you release, people are looking at it with so much scrutiny. So you have to ensure that you pay people well enough to be able to create things that you can back, and then you can say, no, the quality of this is very good and your price is justified. For me, that involves what we do. We bead outfits, we stone outfits, we add any appliques necessary. If a client wants to make like a change, like maybe in cuts or something like that, customization, exactly. We have to we have to put that into consideration and find ways to transport the clothes from where I live to where the place is. And usually that is like Wuse markets for us now. So you really have to deal with a lot of like operational costs that include like logistics, and just the people that actually make the clothes for me. So far that's what I would say I spend a lot of money on.
If you don't mind me asking, would you mind saying your personal expenses are as well? Like in a month, what do you find yourself spending your money on?
This is so bad. It's so bad, but I spend an unhealthy amount of money on food. Very unhealthy amount of money on food.
Relates to that.
And mind you, when you spend money you're not just spending money on food, you're also spending money on delivery for the food, which a lot of times amounts to almost the same price as the food. So you're spending nearly double. Yeah. So before I would say maybe it was clothes I used to spend a lot of money on, but now because I'm making clothes, not as much. Yeah. But food.
Yeah.
Yes, I spend a lot of money.
I think so as well.
What do you spend your money on?
I think the top of my list is probably cinnamon, but you already knew that.
What about your dog food?
Oh yeah, and dog food.
So basically food for you and your dogs.
Food for me and my dogs, basically, and then data. Yeah, I think that's, and then just random debits that just come, like, and we can call you, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, just send me urgent 2K, something like that.
I used to send urgent 2K. Why have I not received urgent 2K from you?
So you dare to send urgent 2K?
To who?
To anyone.
No. First of all, I don't position myself as somebody that can send urgent 2K to another person.
I'm not somebody that can send urgent 2K. Just say, but it still comes.
It still comes sometimes. Yeah. Okay.
So, at what point in your life did you start thinking of like money as something that, oh, I need to start making money? Like you're not just depending on your parents anymore.
I think that realization came in phases, honestly. It didn't come to me at once. First of all, it was like, oh, money can be good and bad because I can buy something with my money, as my dad had given me money, but then somebody else can look at me having money and see it as a bad thing. Yeah. So my first, introduction to money was, this can be good and bad. The next introduction to money, or my next point of contact with money, and what that made me start thinking was that, oh, I need to have money, because if I don't have money, I can't do this and this. Yeah. And I would say that came to me in secondary school, honestly. As I mentioned in the beginning, I was the last one. So my parents a lot of time is, you should know by now. Like if I call, we're doing something in school, oh, mommy, daddy, we're doing this in school, like, what do you need this for? None of your siblings called me for this. What are you talking about? Yeah. And the secondary school I went to was a very, in comparison to other secondary schools at the time, was actually very liberal, in the sense that we would have events, we would do fun things, we would have fundraisers. There was a lot of, they infused a lot of need for money into students at a young age that other secondary schools did not. So I'm grateful for that. But when I would call my parents, because my siblings didn't have that experience, they were a bit like, what are you using this for? So my mind was like, I'm tired of this, man. Tired of having to ask these people for money.
Do what you want whenever you want.
Because to me, honestly, it felt like a humiliation ritual. Every time having to ask for money, and then they're asking you, what do you need it for? What do you mean, what do I need it for? But obviously, you can't be so entitled to another person's money. That's another thing I've learned again. But then those two situations made me feel like I definitely need to have money. Going to school abroad will teach you, if you didn't know when you were young, if you didn't know when you were 5, if you didn't know when you were in secondary school, you will know it in uni, especially abroad, that you need money. And worst, if you schooled in London, if you schooled in a major city. So if you went to somewhere like London, if you went to somewhere like New York, even if you did in Abuja, because this is a very like central Abuja, Lagos, I would say, even Port Harcourt, I would say, you wake up, you breathe, debit. Like you've paid for something and you don't even know what it is you paid for. In the UK, where things run very easily, you wake up 3 a.m. in the morning, subscription gone. Like they're just taking money for different things, so you need to have money. Yeah. Those are the situations. What about you?
I would say secondary school as well. At that point, I was like, okay, I was in hostel, so it was just the usual talk shop and, like you said, events, because we went to the same secondary school. But yeah, events. And I remember having to just ask and explain, we need this for this. And it, like you said, not the best feeling. And the debits just kept on coming. But then I had the sense of, okay, yeah, I need to start getting my money in first year of uni, I would say, because at that time, okay, you're no longer in secondary school. You've expanded what you're doing. It's not just the same routine anymore. You're shopping online. You have access to your phone, so you see different things that you like. And I remember I would have to, when I wanted to ask my dad for money, he would tell me to... He would tell me to write the list first. I should budget everything down. I should not tell him, why do I need for each thing? Why do I need it? And even after I do all of that, he will now reduce the money that he's giving me. So I was like, yeah, no, I need to start making money because this is just not it. Like, why would I be asking you if I don't actually need it? So I think first year of uni, where I expanded more of my needs and my wants, having access to more social scenarios, going out for lunch, and just wanting to do things on my own. I think that's when I had the realization.
I have a question for you, though.
Okay.
Do you think that, will I say, the humiliation ritual, or according to our parents, the disciplining in terms of money and organizing your needs and wants, do you think that has been beneficial to you in any way?
Definitely.
Especially having to write it down, say why, like justify it to yourself first before you justify it to another person why you
definitely.
need this.
I appreciate it. And it also gave me the motivation to say yes, I want. If not, if they had just given me anything I want at any time, I don't think I would be here today with 2 businesses, or I'll just be relaxing, call them anytime, oh, I need this, send it, and they'll send it. So it's definitely something I'm grateful for, and I'm glad that they did it and they are still doing it the way they're doing it, because yes, sometimes they give me money, I'll not lie, but at the same time, you just want your own money. So I'm glad they did. What about you?
Yeah, I'm glad they did, but not too much though.
Yeah.
Not too much. Like they should have just toned it down a bit, but I'm glad they did, because a lot of times people get their motivation from things going maybe a bit wrong. So as you said, if they didn't do that, maybe I'll be a bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
But now it's like painful. I'll be like, okay, I need to get that money myself. So yeah.
Have you ever had an experience where you have someone say, oh, being ambitious as a woman, you shouldn't be doing that. So why do you want more money? And how has that affected your financial journey so far? Or has it even affected your financial journey?
Yes, actually, like obviously the first story I just said about the family member who, acted weirdly about money. But I feel like day to day in my life, I'm very sure I've had those experiences where like they're very micro, like someone making a side comment, now they give you money, what will you use it and do? Or like, okay, if you have this money now, what will you do with it? Kind of thing. As if I cannot, want more. Like, first of all, as if I cannot just want money for wanting's sake. And secondly, as if I'm not allowed to want money because I want to use it to do things. Do you understand? So that has happened many a times. The only way I would say it has affected my journey, thank God, has been positive for me in the sense, and maybe not however they intended for those snide remarks to have affected me or to have made me not want money anymore. If anything, thank you so much, because it has made me want money so bad. So like it gives me more motivation, because it has, in a very would I say weird way, has built my trust with myself in the sense that I'm able to recognize that this is a need for me and trust that it is a need for me and trust that I should be able to provide that need for myself. So yeah, it has affected me in more positive ways than negative. What about you?
Like you said, just little, but I think the one that comes to my head, I was having a conversation with a male friend, and he was into this crypto thingy, which I have no idea how to do. But I saw that, okay, sometimes it brings money. So I was like, okay, let me give you so amount of money. Just add it to your thing and help me. And he was like, why do you need... What do you need the money for? Okay, you that you're doing it. So I was like, what do you mean by that statement? I'm trying to make more money the same way you're doing it. Why do you have to ask me, why do I need it? I was just like, okay. Just took a step back. I said, this mentality is not it at all. Because what do you mean by that? So I think that was the most recent experience I had. Seeing recent, maybe like last year. Seeing people have this belief that as a woman, you shouldn't want more money. So, yeah. And just how has it affected me? I'll just say it definitely hasn't killed my morale or my motivation. It's just made me want to go out and do it by myself because it's given no one's going to do it for you. So the next question, Amanda.
Why did you call my name like that?
Because it's a serious question.
Okay.
Do you mind showing us the amount of money in your bank account?
Hell no. Hell no.
I was just joking, by the way. But yeah, why are you saying no now?
I can't even show my mother the amount of money, man.
Yeah, I understand you. If you had 25 million naira right now, what would you do with that amount of money?
Right now, the only thing I'm thinking about is how to improve my business.
Yeah.
So how to improve my business and also the charity work that I'm doing. Yeah. Those are the two things that are forefront in my mind. First of all, let me just understand something. Who is giving the 25 million? Like, it's just coming. It's not me. It's not Chube Empowerment Initiative. There's no giveaway. So, do you know what? I'll be very honest. You see that 25 million, I will just round it down. So it will be a round figure. I'll remove 5 million first and keep it. You understand? Yeah. That one is for myself. Yeah. I'm paying myself for what I'm about to do. So I'll divide it. It'll now be 10 million. For my business, for OSE, I will use that 10 million to honestly improve my operations and find more tailors, find a place like an actual shop where the tailors can be producing, and also use it to buy like materials in bulk. Because currently I'm buying them small amounts, and that's because exactly the cost is adding up. So a lot of that, using that money would offset a lot of expenses. Number one. Number two, with the charity that I'm doing, currently have a goal of raising 6 million naira to be able to pay for school fees, to buy a printer, and also to buy a laptop and a little bit of other amenities for secondary schools within Abuja. We currently have 2 on the forefront of our goal. So I would use that money to be able to, cover these things. So that's what I would do with 25 million naira. Okay. I wish the money was more, but you have to work with what we have.
Exactly, that's the point. Always work with what you have. I think because we have similar interests, I would definitely invest it in my business as well. Because photo shoots,
oh my God,
they are so expensive. They're so expensive, and like you said,
that's what I just discovered today.
That's what the studio renting alone, and then the photographer.
You know, one thing I found out recently. I don't know if you know Kai Collective.
Yeah, I love
She always says, like, when you spend like the least amount of money on something, a lot of times that will end up being what will give your business so much money. Not as if the proper photo shoots that cost a lot of money won't, but sometimes it comes at times when you least expect it. Even working with Ruka Hair in the UK, where I was managing their social media accounts, and I was basically the marketing lead for a while. I discovered that a lot of times content that we just created on a whim, like we didn't put any money into it, nothing at all. Those were the things that made sales go up for that week, for that month. So a lot of times you just need to keep trying and see what works without spending as much money. Honestly, that's a tip. So anybody that wants to do fashion business, hair business,
you don't really need to. So like I said, I'll invest in content, buying in bulk for materials and investing in a space, honestly, because that cuts down a lot of logistic issues. And NGO, there are a lot of projects that I have planned for Children Empowerment Initiative, and definitely a year's worth of dog food for my dogs.
At least dogs must eat.
They must eat every month. You're like, and you can't, like, it hurts me. Even though I don't have the money, I'll go and find the money because they need to eat. I can't. So I'll just.
Why can't you just cook rice for them?
They're so picky.
Huh.
They will be vomiting. It's only their expensive dog food that they like. So yeah, and trips, because I'm trying to travel. So yeah, trips, investing more in my business, reinvesting
And in this
actually.
economy, 25 million do all these things plus trips.
Yeah, we definitely need more than that. Okay, so my second to the last question before we end is, what is one financial purchase that you plan on making this year, 2026, that you are like, you're not going to compromise on it? You need to get that.
To be honest, the one thing that I really wanted this year, I've already done it, which was, upgrading the packaging for my business.
Yeah.
I just did that recently. So I think that's the only thing that I can really think like that I really needed to do. A purchase I really needed to make for my business. But aside from that, this one is now personal, like just me. I love the Hermes Oran sandals. I love them so much. I want them in all the different colors. Not just
build a collection.
Yes, I'm trying to build a collection. Not just the Orans, but like I think they have the other styles that they have. I would also
They have other styles?
Yes.
Of sandals?
Yes. Hardly they do. And they are gorgeous. I'm sure you've seen them, but you just don't know that maybe it's Hermes or something. But I'm trying to build a collection. Okay. So if anyone wants to, get me something. Yeah. If anyone is wondering what I want, that's what I want.
My birthday is in November.
My birthday is in November.
You can start saving.
Yeah.
To get Amanda her Oran's sandals collection.
Before Hailey even says that, I feel like Hailey is going to tell you that you should buy dog food for our dogs.
No.
Really?
No, that's not my big purchase.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to shock you now.
Okay, shock me, please. Shock me.
Okay, so for 2026, I don't know how this is going to work.
Okay.
But that's the plan. I'm trying to be a landowner.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
It doesn't have to be 50 million. It can be 5 million. You can buy like land, maybe in Nasarawa or Maraba. Okay, exactly. It can be anywhere in the world. But I'm just trying to be a landowner. Yeah, and just invest in more gold. Because gold is also currency.
Forward thinking.
Yeah.
Very forward thinking.
Maybe. Okay, no, I've already said year's supply of dog food. So I'm not mentioning the dog food. I'm not mentioning it. But yeah, landowner. And just small trips.
What?
Trips.
Okay, trips.
Small
trips.
Okay. Small chops.
I heard small chops. I was
like, what? More trips. Traveling. I love traveling, but we need the funds to travel.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Land, travel, and I feel like a Birkin bag is too...
No, it's not too anything. Say it. You want a Birkin bag.
Birkin bag in 2026.
Yeah. It's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the last question is, what's you, Amanda?
Okay.
What are your financial freedom practices for 2026? What are you currently doing to get your money, grow your money, sustain your money? Yeah.
What am I doing to get my money? Honestly, is continuing to give myself new experiences. What I'm doing to get my money is I'm eating my money and I'm making sure I'm eating it very well. Because nothing will give me more vim to make it more than the experiences I give myself. Yeah. I haven't finished reading that Otelola's book yet.
Same.
But it's good. Yeah, but one thing that, blew the book up was how he said that money that you don't spend, like, it's not yours.
Yeah.
So how are you going to make money if you're not spending it? If you're not flying yourself out, how will you feel the money that you have? Like, what's the money doing sitting in your bank account? And let me tell you something, next of kin, they are waiting for you. Because the moment you die, next of kin is going to enjoy that your money. The way you didn't want to enjoy it, they are going to enjoy it. So you better work very hard, or you also need to eat your money, like eat your money and be full. So that's what I'm doing. So I am not denying myself things that I want. Like experiences I want. Like if I want to go to the spa, I'm going to pay for it. If I want to go to lunch, random time, I'll pay for it. If I want to buy something, I won't have to think twice, I'll buy it. And my assurance to myself is that I'm going to make that money back. Having an abundance mindset when it comes to money. But in as much as I'm prioritizing eating the money, like I'm also constantly thinking of how do I make this money? Like how do I put myself in situations to like, make more money, speaking to people. One thing, a financial freedom practice that I would say that if anyone can take anything from this video that they need to do is to use the number one instrument that God has given them, which is their mouth.
Yeah.
Open your mouth and ask people for what you want.
What's that saying? Is it closed mouth?
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah.
Even if you're like this, if your mouth is closed, they're not going to force feed you. So you open your mouth, like say what you want. Tell people what you're doing. Ask people for what you want. Like you have to constantly put yourself out there.
Yeah, put yourself
out there. The cost of entry is embarrassment. You have to be embarrassed. Like for some people, they don't see it as embarrassment, but you that you're sitting down and you're shy because you don't want to put yourself out there, my dear, the cost of entry is embarrassment. You have to be embarrassed, posting all the time, putting your face on Instagram, saying, oh, this is what I'm selling, come and buy, going to meet people. If you're a hair business, going to other salons or something, giving people your flyer, like, oh, come and try this. I went to a fair last year. I think it was called Bread Market Fair, the one we went for. Yeah. And in that fair, I saw a woman sharing flyers for her own fair that was coming a few months down the line.
That's the perfect place.
Like, that's the perfect place. But a lot of people will be shy to do that because they don't want to go and, seem like they're begging or something like that. And I'm saying this to myself because at times, even with this NGO like work, like the charity work that I do, I'll be very honest. Sometimes I find myself in a vulnerable position where it feels like I'm asking people for money and it's like, oh my God. But I try to remind myself, and I have friends that remind me that you're not asking for this money for yourself. You're asking for this money for what you're doing. And then it also applies to my business. Although I'm asking for the money for myself, it's not like I'm now a charity case, like I'm begging you to give me money. No, I'm telling you, give me your money and I'm giving you something in return that you want. So it's a win-win situation for each of us. So you need to have that mindset of putting yourself out there and asking for what you want. So I'm so sorry guys. Two things just came to my head. When you can, these two, let's say you have extra 10K to spare, maybe every week or something, I would advise you, that 5K, like divide it into two. 5K, you use it, save it or invest it. Savings is so important. So important. Save always because it will save you. Like your savings will save you. Save at any chance you have.
How do you save?
I have an account, like I just put money aside. So it depends, like I run a percentage, like there's a certain percentage that I will use and, enjoy myself, a certain percentage to take care of my bills, a certain percentage is going straight to my savings. And also a certain percentage for what I'm now talking about, give money. Constantly, always give money. Give money to charity, give money to people you see on the road. Like it might not be the best thing because you don't know what they're using the money for, but if you're skeptical about giving money to people that you see on the road or whatever, find a charity organization that you support and you can see their transparency and see what they're doing, but always give people money. Like always give. When you give. Because the way that money comes back to you, I can't like, this type of things can even make me cry. Like I cannot emphasize how important it is to give. So those are my financial freedom practices for this year. And beyond. You?
I would say learning how to invest in stocks and being more disciplined with my savings. I'm currently using Cowrywise and I would say it's like so good because you can set like a date. It's going to be locked. You can keep on putting money there, but it's going to be locked till when you can say 1 year, you can say 2 years. There's nothing you can do to remove that money.
Even if
nothing you can do.
The money will not come out.
Nothing you can do until that date that you said. So it's like the perfect app.
I need to download that.
Yeah, no, I'll send you the reference code. Yeah, it's the perfect
will you get
app.
Codes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You should put the reference code in your something on this video.
Yeah. So it's the perfect app I use for savings. They also have an investing platform, but I really don't know about that. So I'm skeptical, but I'm trying to learn how to save, investing in gold, because like we discussed
Prices have
earlier,
been.
it always appreciates. It goes higher and higher each year that comes by. So, passive income. Finding passive income in any way. I was doing some research and I saw you could actually just invest in POS.
Oh, really?
And just get a few people that are also looking for work.
Yeah.
You'll be the one to get the POS and the stand. They just have to sit down and do the whatever. And then at the end of the month, they have their cut. You also have some sort of passive income that is being generated every single time.
Oh, wait,
Even
something you
rent
forgot
as
to
well.
say. You guys, we're not financial experts.
No,
so
we're not,
This is not
so
financial advice.
We're just having a discussion.
And with that
basically.
POS, you need to have guarantor for somebody who run with your
With
POS.
exactly. So stuff like you always need to be backed up.
Yeah.
That's where the legal aspect comes.
Yeah.
Always have a lawyer that you're speaking with.
Yeah.
Studying law. By the
Hallie's
grace of God,
gonna
I
be
went to
lawyer.
law school.
The law.
I'm called to the bar,
Yeah.
so you can hit me up in like 2 years.
Thereabouts.
But yeah. That's as well. Even getting a property to rent, that's another form of passive income. Just finding ways to generate money consistently, like monthly, weekly, it goes a long way. So that's my plan for 2026. Saving, learning how to invest, and eating my money, as Amanda said, because you go through all this and it's not showing on you. You're not feeling it, so what's the point? And if you're eating your money, you even be more motivated to get more money because you want to continue eating your money. So yeah, this is the end of Women Wielding Wealth, financial freedom on her terms.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this with me.
No problem.
This was
Always.
an amazing conversation, and I hope that people got, even if it's just one tiny little thing, I hope they got something from this. And please let us know in the comments, what are your financial practices for 2026?
Yeah.
Thank you and have a lovely day.
Bye.